Hello, collective. Welcome to the channel. It is November 12th, 2025. Thanks for being here, everybody. I hope the day is treating you kindly. Let us tap right in and see what storyline Spirit would like to share with us. Storyline for the collective, please, Spirit. Storyline for the collective. Please and thank you. Storyline for the collective, please. Spirit. Got the Emperor. The Emperor, Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Hierophant. Somebody's in regret over what they've been doing. Yeah. Yeah. All right, collective, in the central energy, what do we got, Spirit? In the central energy for the collective, please. Storyline for the collective. What's going on with the planet? What's happening? Whoa. 7 of Wands in the reversed. Somebody's afraid to fight, feeling feeble-minded. They may, they might be afraid of something. And the 10 of Wands, they might be overwhelmed. In the challenge position, whoa, the Sun in the reverse. False positivity. There could be some depression. They weren't able to rebirth something, to restart something. They weren't able to give life to something. Something was not successful. In the subconscious, 3 of Pentacles, Power of 3, Apprentice, Team. In the recent past, the Star. A rebirth, some kind of miraculous recovery. Got everybody all wound up. Intentions and expectations. We have Justice in the reverse. They were not fair. So they lacked accountability. They lied. You had a miraculous recovery from some kind of abusive situation, and it proves that they lied. They lied about you. They were trying to put the blame on you. Your shine, your miraculous recovery is revealing some legal flaws. There could have been some forged documents in the court system regarding you and your life. In the near future. The lovers, union. You got a union, romance. There might be some romance coming up. I feel a lot of impatience around that. Some of you may have been waiting a long time for this. Let me just get this right up here. I don't like it when the top of my head's chopped off like that. So, you know, a lot of you may have been alone for a long time. You had to get your shine on. You had to do whatever was necessary to bling, to become that bright shining star, so that God, Goddess, Mother, Father, you know, the justice system, the council of the universe, or whatever that is for you, the supreme universal council and court, could see you. I mean, hello. And the wonderful thing is that there were a lot of copycats dressing up in energy that did not belong to them. So the research took some time, but boy, they're dedicated, and they discovered the truth because you did the work, you did the shadow work, and you were able to get your light turned on and be seen, be claimed. So yeah, somebody was cheating and stealing, being deceitful, scamming. They were scamming love. They were scamming people. They were thieving. They were stealing from the cup of love. So the lovers are here. There is the duality and union. They could be, so this is the lens that's being looked through. So they're looking at this deceitful scamming and cheating regarding the Ace of Cups, the love. In the environment, Magician. There may still be somebody here trying to cheat, trying to scam on this. Hopes and fears. Seven of Cups. So there's a magician out here trying to cast an illusion. They want to deceive. They want to deceive your new love. They might be trying to work magic so that they can get a sneaky Pete or somebody into your energetic field. What's the outcome, Spirit? 10 of Cups, happy ending. For the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords, this devil is afraid. Oh, you got King of Swords and Queen of Swords out there, freaking back to back, swords raised. The devil is afraid because they're losing everything. They're losing everything. They're losing everything because you have a new job, or they're losing everything that they worked for, because this is a completion of that cycle, a successful completion of this cycle. You found the truth. You revealed the truth. So that's good. That's good. Boy, King and Queen of Swords, man. They're right out here. Oh, I don't know what they got there. Must have had a new... That's the one thing about a fruit orchard. You got ants, you know, and they just don't go away. You know, they kind of hang out. All right. So somebody is lacking courage. They're afraid. They might be feeling feeble-minded. There's too much going on. They're overwhelmed. Lies. They're burdened. They're overwhelmed by the dishonesty of what they've been going on, of what's been going on. Feeble-minded. Lack of courage. They're afraid. They've got too many lies. There are too many lies. And the sun is here in the reverse. It's all negative, depressed, sadness. There's no success. They were not able to get it restarted. Their destiny swap failed because the star is shining. So we got sadness, depression, unfinished business. There's still a lot of talking that needs to go on. Apparently there's a lot of things that have to be resolved. We've got the Three of Pentacles, or the power of three. This could be the team, the whole team that's been working with this person, or maybe this is, whatever. Apprenticeship. Came out in the reverse, reminiscing in the reverse. So they're no longer laughing. The power of three or whatever, they're no longer laughing. They're overwhelmed by all of the lies that they told. This isn't fun anymore. You got the star there. You have had a miraculous recovery. You're shining brightly. Your energy is pure and potent. So you've mended the connection. So the star has mended the connection. And so we got some stuff going on. It's clear that we've got justice in the reverse. It's very clear that these people were very unfair with you and they lied about you. There's legal flaws, meaning that they filed false documents in the legal system regarding you. Like on the 5D, they may have continuously filed marriage, contracts and such, because all they got to do is have a wet dream. They just got to give you an orgasm while you're sleeping in your bed, because they're doing it in the 5D while you're asleep here in the 3D. And then that's a contract. That's a marriage contract. They've been having people get married in that space, and then they never show up here. So they lie. There was never an actual legitimate marriage. And most of the time, I think those kinds of things were done magically. Like you're sleeping in your bed. You don't even know. You're not even dreaming or whatever. What you're dreaming of is somebody giving you an orgasm or whatever. Or they're giving you a dream to masturbate or something. But to them, that's an exchange of energy in the 5D. And we had a lot of false judges over there marrying people this way. And then they never show up in the 3D. They just take all of your spiritual inheritance, everything that you were supposed to receive here. They lied. It was very unfair. What they did to the stars was very unfair. And it's time. We got too late for them to take any action about it. There are legal flaws. It is what it is. The lovers are coming together here. Romance, partnership. Oh, and we've got unworthy. So there's romance. The lovers. We got the lovers here. Unworthy. Somebody's unworthy of a union. There's a union. Somebody's unworthy. Somebody thinks you're better than them. Why? Because they lied and they couldn't bury you in hell with their lies. Seven of Swords. They're unworthy. They were deceiving, cheating, scamming. The cups of love. Cups of love. They were scamming people who had big cups of love. They were generating false contracts in the 5D and then stripping that wealth out of that account. And then filing a false death certificate or a divorce decree or whatever, and they would just take all the stuff. We have some crazy magicians over in this other space screwing everybody out of their dreams, out of their purpose, and out of the wealth that was meant to manifest that. So there's a magician here. We got a new chapter. You might be manifesting a new chapter. We got the Seven of Cups. So this could be illusions. It could be many choices. It could be something that you've been dreaming about, this new chapter. values. So somebody may be trying to cast an illusion. Somebody may be having a fantasy over money. You might be afraid that somebody's after you for money. You might be worried somebody's doing magic on you to try to get a new chapter, because that's what it looks like. We've got somebody stealing, deceiving and cheating here. The Ace of Cups. Magician wants a new chapter. Seven of Cups. Illusion. Values are all about money. Your values are different. But then in the end, we've got 10 of Cups. Happy endings. So what is going on there? Missed opportunity. So we've got a reunion, and somebody didn't act when they should have to gain a soul contract. They were too busy neglecting you, and you escaped because the way you love can't be matched. You're irreplaceable. Yeah, and they screwed it up with their habitual patterns of daydreaming and chasing after crap that didn't matter, while unappreciating you, being unsatisfied with you. And there's a great understanding about this. We've got some disagreements regarding destiny. These prideful people are really upset because they sabotage their own soul ties regarding a reunion, and now they want forgiveness for chasing and running and leaving you alone, trying to hold you back. They're being held back. They regret this passion project and all the damage that it caused. And they're confused because the truth has been revealed about responsibilities and commitments. They're overwhelmed because it is plain that you love yourself and that they are third-party hoe bags, and these reflections could not separate you from love. They want to have a talk with the shadow side. Maybe they are talking to the shadow side. Making mistakes, unexpected outcome, found guilty, getting detached, and reciprocated. Everything nasty thing that they did throughout the lifetimes is going to be reciprocated. So they're going to have to go through lifetimes of the torturous struggle that they put you through. They're not happy. They're not happy. So somebody is afraid now. They're feeble-minded. They are in a 10 of Wands burden with all of this childish dishonesty. They might be acting like a child. They might be throwing tantrums. Negativity. They were not successful. And there's a lot of unfinished business with many, many flames. There's a debt. There's a debt. Many flames. They lied about all of the earth angels. All of them. They drove them. They planted them into foul circumstances, and then drove their minds into really bad situations, and then tampered with the emotions and the energies of the water in the temple, and they drove people into misery while promoting others. They were copycatting and flipping people into the South Node by driving their minds into this struggle. And then they were flipping them into the South Node, and then they were developing a copycat, and then they would give them all of those happy memories and then walk around in the 5D as though they were them. And, you know, while the 3D person was actually suffering greatly, getting everything sucked out of them. They lied about all of those earth angels that they buried in that darkness and siphoned and sucked off of and effed off of, punished, layering them in all of the transferred sin and all of that, this magic. Teamwork. So the power of 3 is no longer thinking this is funny. They're not missing the inside jokes. This isn't funny. We got distant right here. So that's right here and right now. Something is very close. Something is happening right now. The star has a miraculous recovery, has mended the connection, and it's been a very rough road. It's been a very hard road. They lied about everything, justice in the reverse. So they were lying. There were a lot of legal flaws. They filed a lot of false contracts, false documentation. They lied on your 5D self and screwed over your 3D circumstance over and over and over again. And now it's time. They're out of time. It's too late for them to take any action on this, to cover it up. Crumbling. Everything they built on the energy of these stars that they drove into failure and then deceitfully convicted of the whatever it was that they drove them into, so that they could trap them and siphon their energy and their essence. Everything they built on that energy is crumbling. We've got the Lovers here, a reunion, a union, and these ones are found unworthy. You're a better person than they are, and this is ending. So yeah, the Lovers, the unions, contracts, partnerships, relationships, all of that with the unworthy is ending. They will not be taking part in these unions, not in this new chapter, you know. People think it's really bad, but when you got the earth angels out there who were trapped in the valley of the shadow of death and then stomped on, you know, and buried in one of the deepest, darkest holes of that place, yeah. When they get back up here, they're not going to have, you know, this sweet little trusting angelic personality anymore. Oh no, they're a survivor. They have survived near impossibility. And they're not playing around anymore because they realize that everybody on this side of things meant for them to stay invisible, meant for them never to succeed. And so they're not playing. Their life is not a game. And these people playing around with their love like it's nothing, like it's not sacred, like it's just a commodity, a thing that they can use for their own gain. This essence of an earth angel is sacred. It's holy. And you got these childish, dishonest people out there doing magic to try to screw them over. And it's so awful. How anybody could have thought that that was a great idea. But there are entities here who are really good at mind messing people, and they have intentions. They don't want organic human beings on this planet. They want control of the planet, and they don't have it right now. And there are people here right now that are promising them that, you know, this is temporary. Didn't I pull a card for that? Well, I guess I didn't. Let me do that right now. So they're being very deceitful and stealing from your cup of love is what they've been doing. So these unions with people who are lying, cheating, scamming, magicians, stealers is ending. They cannot tap into your cup of love anymore. Absolutely not. Because they're going to take everything from you. And now that the earth angels have come up, they know the characteristics of lying, cheating scammers. And throughout the lifetimes, just this afternoon, Curator was complaining that there's testimony being spoken in the Supreme Courts about lifetimes of circumstances, and apparently the faces and the places and the everything is known. So your spirit remembers everything through every lifetime and is testifying. They had no appreciation for you, and yet they were lying, cheating, and scheming to try to get into your love cup, even though they didn't want you. And the beauty that you offered, you were offering them a love cup, and they like, I don't want you. I just want the energy. So they were lying, saying that they were loving you, but they didn't have any appreciation for you at all. They needed the energy of love in order to fuel their magic, in order to get a new chapter. They were using other people's energy to do magic, to try to manipulate the system. The holy graduation, the school. Look. All right. So it's ending because they were trying to steal from your cup of love, and maybe they were stealing from your cup of love, and they had no appreciation for you, but they couldn't tempt you. Like they had no choice. I heard one of them say he had no choice but to unalive or martyr the star, because the star wasn't in alignment with this horrendous scheme they had going on. They needed the energy. The magician needed the energy in order to try to manifest a new chapter. They were playing games with love in order to scam it out of the energy so that they could move their magic machine, make things happen. But they lost you. They lost you, and their cup is empty. So the magician's new chapter will be an empty cup. They were causing illusions with the Seven of Cups here, and now in order to gain money, in order to get money. They want forgiveness. Come on, man. You can't span. It just seems so. It just seems so odd to me that somebody who's actually they're fully aware of what they're doing. They're not a child. They're childish, but there's nothing innocent here. So we've got the Ten of Cups here, a happy reunion in marriage, for marriage. And the unworthy, that were trying to do this magic to siphon the love cup, the energy out of the love, so that they could do their magic and then dominate people with others' energies, which is awful, because then what? Then God and everybody sees the energetic signature of all these other people doing all this crap that they were not doing. It was an illusion. Crazy drama. So we got a happy ending for Ten of Cups unions. These ones missed their opportunity because they were bringing crazy drama. They were trying to stuff you into a rabbit hole. They got stuck in it, perhaps. Their life is in pieces, and they got a long way to go before they get what they want, because they've been found guilty. They didn't want to settle down or be responsible. They're chaff, weed seed, or somebody who left you alone and did not tend to your needs. They drained your love cup and everything beautiful that you offered them, and left you alone in darkness, wondering what the hell just happened. You weren't tempted by the snake. And now they're drowning. They're struggling. They're going under, and they're having anxiety because they lost. They lost. They have to face the secrets. They're still trying to reach out for the love that they neglected, and love isn't answering the call. They did not see this coming when they decided to play games with love and break their promises and shove people, these beautiful lights, into the dark side, empty them of all their love and put them in the dark. Didn't see it coming. They left you tired. They would drain you of everything and then burn you. You deserve a break. Their life is falling apart to make room for the love that you deserve. I don't think I want to use this one. I'm gonna go a little bit shorter today. I think I'll try to get it a little shorter. So somebody doesn't want to fight. They're afraid to fight. It actually says afraid to fight. They're feeble-minded. That's also printed on the card. 10 of Wands burden. They are overwhelmed by the lies, by the dishonesty, and they're being so childish. They are very childish. They are a dishonest, childish magician. Who was deceitfully gaining relationship with somebody who had a great love cup, not because they liked the beauty of them, but because they wanted to feed them to this thing. They needed the energy in order to do magic. It's a power thing. You've gained your wings. They're childish. They lied. You have your wings. You are an angel, an actual angel. This childish person lied. You're a happy, winged one. They got to go deal with the angels. They're depressed. They might be, it's false positivity if they are acting as though they're happy. We've got unfinished business, things to resolve and discuss with many flames. Many angelic beings waiting. They're waiting. They want their wings. They want their debt paid. They want their wings. Everything that they took from these earth angels and then stuffed into darkness, those who were not tempted by the snake, they were just unalived and forced into this pit so that they could transmute or alchemize their nastiness. It's like they owe these earth angels a life. They owe them a whole lot of wealth. They owe them everything. They're waiting. There's a team here that doesn't think it's funny anymore. And we've got distant. In the reverse, we've got fortune. There's a fortune of something here. They're waiting for their fortune. These flames, these winged ones, they're waiting for their fortune. They want it now. They got to cough it up. The stars have miraculously recovered. This connection that they had with Source is mended. And it's been a very, very, very rough road here. Death. And it's ending. It's ending. I heard Divine Masculine, could have been a judge, a few days back, say, if you lied about her, then you lied about all of them. And they were speaking about this magistrate. So there was like a, what do they call that? it's the word for clemency. So clemency was enacted. There was like the magistrate did a clemency thing. So it looks to me like this is, yeah, it's discovered. These stars are fixing the connection. It was a really rough road for them. This death, this walk of death, these guys, they martyred them into this valley. Justice in the reverse, they lied. They filed false paperwork. It was very unfair. And now it's too late. It's time. It's too late for them to take any action. There are a lot of legal flaws. The paperwork is seen. Things that this person built on the light and the life force and the love energy of these many, many flames is crumbling. Scholar. They're a scholar. Whatever they knew, it's all crumbling. It's all falling apart for this scholar. This is the magician who thought they knew everything. They might be scanning their books to try to find a way out of this. The lovers are here. Romance, union, partnerships with the unworthy are ending. We're going to make a fresh start. We got money here. So there's a fresh start. The other day, I got a message that the billionaires were pissed. It's all about the money, the fortune, the money that belongs to these many flames that were martyred by this childish, lying magician, scholar, martyrer, martyring beautiful people who had huge cups of love and great energy just so they could do their magic tricks and over the minds of the people. Seven of Swords, deceit. This is a scammer, man. Scamming people out of their Ace of Cups. They didn't appreciate any of the beauty that you were actually offering to them. You weren't tempted by the snake in your room. Okay, so they didn't appreciate you. You were not tempted by what was going on in your mind. Like the program, the software, the soap opera, as I like to call it, that they were trying to drive through your transmitter receiver. You're meant to receive divine messaging and then manifest it into the realm. But these guys were using this magic and other technologies to drive like a soap opera through your mind. And then to drive you into a temptation, but you didn't go for it. Your mind was strong. You didn't go for it. They robbed you of your love, your cup of love, and they didn't appreciate you at all. But you were not tempted by this mental effery. Or maybe they're not able to tempt you in the mental body. They weren't able to tempt you in the mental body, so they decided to what? They were trying to unalive you, to martyr you, to get your love. Death here. Yeah, they couldn't tempt the earth angel. They wanted that energy. There was no temptation. They lied about the freaking earth angels. They lied. They lied. They were not tempted in the mental body at all. It was an illusion that was cast using their own energy. Oh, this is bad. Very crafty and clever, but certainly not too intelligent. So the magician is he's manifested a new chapter of an empty cup. There will be no fulfillment for this person. Their cup will always be empty, and we've got service. They could be opening doors, washing toilets, doing the service jobs that they probably brutalized others while they did them for them. We've got the Seven of Cups here, illusions. They were casting illusions over the minds of people for money, to get money. They were not able to tempt these earth angels with the snakes, so they just martyred them and then filed false documents in the court convicting them. This dude's going to have to go serve them now. They're waiting for their money. They want their wealth. There's money here. Relationships with them, partnerships is over. They're unworthy. They got to give all the money back. The fortune, the entire fortune, and they got to give it back now. So they were casting fantasies, causing illusions for money, and now they want forgiveness. They're in despair. You've got a 10 of Cups. There's a happy reunion here and marriages. They lied about all these earth angels and they're coming home. I just love that the actual divine beings of higher realms do not mess around when it comes to justice or research. I'm so very grateful that they adhere to truth, you know. I was really worried that this realm of this kind of lie and illusion and this intentional suffering placed upon people was it. I'm like, this can't be all there is. It just can't be this. I was confused for a long time as a younger person because it didn't make sense to me. Stuff, you know. All right. So you got the 10 of Cups. There's a happy reunion here. These earth angels are coming home, and these ones missed their opportunity. They did not act when they should have. They could have done things differently, but they didn't. They're stuck in some crazy drama, in a rabbit hole, because you're not dealing with the false anymore. You can see right through the lies. You don't believe the lies anymore. There's a surprise in the water, which could be a gift. They might have hid something in the water. There might be something from like lifetimes ago that they hid in the water that belongs to you, Earth Angel. A big prize. Because this gift, that table is overflowing with jewels, and that's a 6,000 pound whatever in the net there. And you've got money and fortune here on the table. I don't think I want to do that one. Let's see. We're going to do these ones. So, yeah, there's a lot of debt. I don't think there's enough money in the world, or at least in the hands of this magician and this illusionist, to pay. There's just not. It's been going on for too long. I don't think there's enough money in the world for the debt that is owed to these earth angels. It's been going on for far too long. It's ending. And God said, this is the end of their relationship with batteries. They will not be using the energy of anybody else to fuel their magic. If they want to be clever magicians, they're going to have to, you know, use their own energy, be their own source. Bunch of crap. Gain in the reverse. Okay, so that's gain in the reverse. Man, we've got frivolity, wings, and gain in the reverse. They did not gain their wings. They weren't able to gain their wings. It could be that there's some people happy about that. They weren't able to bring a close to whatever this was. Whatever this toxic plan they had, it wasn't profitable. They were not able to gain their wings. They're out of energy. They're afraid. They're overwhelmed by the lies, and they're being very childish. We've got the Sun in the reverse. There's no rebirth. They can't get it started again. Unfinished business. There's still things to resolve. There's many flames here waiting. We've got research and evidence. They might be, there's detection, so, and justice right there. So it could be that this is in the court. Yeah, this is in the court. There's an investigation. So these many flames are waiting for proof. There's investigation. This childish person is not gaining their wings or their happiness. They're not able to gain anything to be happy about. Three of Pentacles, this whole power of three thing, they're not laughing now, because right now they owe a fortune. They need to give it up right now. They fell into a trap. They owe a fortune to their victims for the tricks of whatever this magician's trade is. They got to give it all back. The Star has received a miraculous recovery. You've mended the connections with your upper divine family. It's been a real rough road for you, but it's over. We've got the Death card here. It's the end of curses. Death and curse. So they made your life really rocky. They cursed you with death, but now we've got death and curse. So there's an end to the cursing of your life. The Divine Mother stated, maybe a year or so ago, that they won't be able to curse your land or your business. So this is the end. This is the death of cursing. It could be that there's going to be a death of those who cursed you. There's a misfortune for somebody. Justice. They lied. They filed false paperwork. Legal flaws. It was very unfair what they did. And it's too late for them to take any action. It's time right now for all that they built on the light and on the energy of these earth angels, these stars, these suns, these flames. It's crumbling for this scholar. We got friendship in the reverse. So they don't have any friends. Nobody wants to be their friend. And we've got, there's no hesitation. It's like, so there's no hesitation. Like nobody's hesitating now. They don't want to be friends with this guy or this gal, whoever this is. They're this scholar, whoever this scholar is, everything is falling apart around them. It's crumbling. It's crumbling. So like there's no hesitation. This isn't a tough decision for people. They don't want to be this person's friend. It could be that the whole team, the whole network, nobody wants to be connected to this person. We've got the Lovers here, unions, faithful, loving unions, romantic unions with these people here that were cursing others for their love cup, for their energy, the love energy, which is so powerful and potent. They've been found unworthy. So they've been found unworthy of unions. It's ending because, and they owe money. They got to give this money back. They pretended that it's ending, but their money is ending. This is the end of their money. They're going to get a fresh start. This is the end of their money. Well, it fell right out, didn't it? They've got loss. So money and loss. Money and loss. They've been found unworthy. This is the end of them tapping into people romantically for money. They have lost that because they were stealing everybody's love energy and they had no appreciation for the beauty that they were offering them. You were not tempted by the snake that was plaguing your mind. And you stayed peaceful. You stayed relaxed. These people were trying to turn the earth angels into vengeance seekers, you know, but vengeance belongs to God, to the, you know, so it's like now that God says go, I imagine that all these earth angels are going. They're waiting right here for the results, the evidence of this justice thing. You're at peace. They didn't tempt you. They stole all your love. Many flames. This is the end of these people cursing others. The magician is getting a new chapter with an empty cup, a life of service. And yeah, they're going to be serving people. They're not going to be stealing from people. Their cup is empty because they were causing illusions and fantasies for people regarding money, to get money. They want forgiveness. They're in despair. They want to compromise. You got a 10 of Cups here, a reunion for happy endings for marriage. They missed their opportunity because they were playing in this rabbit hole, this crazy drama, and you're not dealing with liars anymore. You're not believing their lies anymore. They can say, let's compromise, but it's never a compromise. It's always a game, and you're not playing their games. You're not going to play with these falsehoods, these people, because you're not taking any of their danger. It's like you're not dealing with them. They're lying. They're a little liar. It could be you don't believe their lies about the accidents and the danger that they were putting everybody in, or you're simply, they missed their opportunity. They're stuck in a crazy drama. You're not dealing with them or believing their lies, and it could be that we got accident because whatever, they're not able to bring you any danger. You're not believing their lies, so they can't bring you any danger. You're not believing them anymore. You know what the narcissistic traits are. You know what the traits of love bombing and gaslighting are. You know what the Jezebel and the gigolo do. Now they come in and they try to break up loving unions and tempt you with the flesh, right? And other things, money, illusions. But you're not believing their lies anymore, so they're not able to bring you danger. You're like, I'm not going to, look, they want to fight with you. They want to fight. They want to fight. They could be fighting against each other. Everybody that collaborated with them to trying to get your fate, you know, reading cards, scrying, doing whatever, doing their divination, trying to fight with you for these third-party enemies. Everybody who collaborated with them to try to get your fate is, well, there's a memory, there's a remembrance of everybody that did that. You know who all the people are. You got mercy from God. He's lifting you right up out of there. And everybody who did that are being separated out from you and your real estate. They're going to get kicked off your real estate. They're not going to have anything to do with that. I mean, this introvert, it says separate online community. So it could be that, so there's a death to them being on your, near your real estate, your land, your whatever. So that's over. They might be able to still see you from the online community, but they're separated from you. These two got their backs to each other, and they're separated from each other. They're separated from you and your real estate. This is death. It could be that there's an actual death because they got a lot of stress in the mental body. The curses that they put on you are all going back to them. It could be, you know. You care about family and you want to support that, but these people were doing prayer work and strategizing against the mental body of people, daydreaming, causing daydreamings, messing up, casting illusions and whatnot in their own mind using their own freaking energy. Look, these prideful people, they were coming in deceitfully tapping into your love and then using your beautiful white and golden light to do magic on you, trying to curse you. Isn't that wild? These people using all the proper words of love, using that energy to curse you. So that's being stopped. This bullying is going to be stopped. It's done. It's like, you got to stop doing that to the people. People deserve to, when their heart tells them they love somebody, they should be able to be with that person and know that they're not going to get sacrificed to some freaking shadow demon. That they legitimately want to have a family with them and build something worthwhile. You know, that's crap. So yeah, this is being stopped. You got to stop messing with people, man. Why? Because you triumphed. You triumphed. You survived these natural disasters. You've reached your goals. You've reached your goals. You've reconnected to source, divine, to the higher dimensional realms, and you are okay. You are stable. You are relaxed. And you're getting ready for a vow and an adventure. Ooh. Yeah. These people are overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed. It's time for justice, though. It's time for justice, and somebody is overwhelmed by it because it's centuries, man. It's lifetimes. And the spirit who is awake in the 5D or whatever D that is, it's in the Supreme Court of the higher universal system, like they remember every lifetime and everything that happened and everybody who did it, and they remember all that. Now, you know, our 3D self, you know, that's apart from that may not remember that. They've done a lot of things to give us short-term memory and such in this physical form. But look, you're worth saving. You're worth saving. And these people, yeah, all that mental disturbance is back on them. They could be having poltergeists or something in the home. These entities that they're trying to send out and do their magic to people, they're coming back. It's like it's end. This is the end. This is the death of them cursing earth angels. It's over. They cannot curse you anymore. It's not going to stick. I mean, they might try to throw it out there, but it's going to come back bad. They got some paranoia going on. That's like double whammy paranoia. They got a whole lot of stuff going on. They want to apologize, but you lived and you learned exactly what they were doing to the sweethearts, to the families. You brought all that injustice, the testimony from this injustice. Yeah, you were stubborn. You're stubborn. You are high value. You're stubborn, and you're a good moral human, and you've earned a lot of merit here. Yeah. This coach is in a nightmare. This coach that was overindulging and all of this magic and all of this good time, yeah, they're in a nightmare because you are committed to marriage. You're committed to union. You're committed to sweet love that lasts, you know, that is a gift to the world. Yeah. These ones who tried to steal your blessing, they're going to be unfreedomed. They're sick about it. They're sick. There's a promise that they will be blinded to your new family tree and to your energy. They'll no longer be able to see you because they were tempted. And they dominated people. They became a tyrant with their special gifts and their magic and all of this beautiful way to manipulate energy and make things happen. They used it to hurt people. And it was their profession. So you can stay calm. You've got a lot of inner peace here, meditation. You've got trustworthy alliances here, and everybody's protesting. They're like, because they're getting cast away, these mask wearers who were messing with your mind, wearing masks and then trying to present themselves as you, creating illusions as you, they're being cast away. and they're protesting. But that's just simply, that is atrocious behavior. They got to get out. They got to stay away, man. They're dangerous. Can't have them around, you know. We got some youth that are coming up, you know, getting ready to go, know each other and think about becoming a united pair themselves. And we can't have people in there playing these kinds of games with them when their life and their spiritual inheritance and the inheritance that belongs to this family tree, you know, this your spiritual family, like up on the upper dimensional realms. You come here, you're like, hey, you're going to bring all those beautiful ideas and you're going to manifest them into the world, and then our family's going to go down there, you know, and have a human experience, and this is what our contribution. But you got some folks down here who didn't want anybody to contribute nothing. They have a certain, I heard a big sounding voice telling a woman that he had a certain specific type of life he wanted on this planet, and she said, be patient, it's just temporary. We're going to let her get established, and then we're going to flip and copycat her. So this is the plan of a feminine on the planet that believes they're going to have this opportunity. They have somebody else either in another dimension or somewhere. You're coming into your reward. You've hit the jackpot. You've hit the jackpot. Somebody is being rejected by you, by your love. You love yourself, and it's like, you know, just go away, get away from me. And they're furious because you're leaving them alone, and they're sick. They're sick. While you are getting eternal love because you persevered through this crap. And you got good news. Good news. We're coming up on a cycle where families will have sweet dreams. It's going to be really nice. It's going to be really loving. We're not going to play games like this. Eternal love that perseveres through the darkest dark and the scariest scary. You did what you did. They trapped you, but then God resurrected you. It's right here. It's all here. They were very unfair. It was deceitful documentation. They tapped into your heart, your love, and then they betrayed you. And then they filed lawful documents that were deceitful. It was an illusion. It was a story. It wasn't true. So that they could deceitfully convict the earth angels into this pit, and then in this crazy drama, this rabbit hole, and then cause them suffering and suffering and suffering, and just suck the life out of them for their magic tricks. Anyway, we're at an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this one where it's at. I hope that this brings you clarity for something that you already intuitively knew. And I'll see you on the next one, everybody.